All right, family, peace and blessings. I'm very excited for this call specifically. It's going to help a lot of people get a lot of things that they've been looking to get done on their consumer report completely, you know, understood so that they know the proper steps to take. I promise you guys, if you guys truly understand this information I'm about to teach right now, I put together a couple slideshows for you guys specific because a lot of people were like, yo, I love the value, but I would love if you could just get more to the point. So I put together a couple slideshows today specifically. I'm just going to break down a couple codes and things in which you guys all can use within the FCRA to get anything removed off your consumer report. And I'm even referring anything from a bankruptcy to an eviction to a repo to a charge off, etc. It doesn't matter what type of account it is. With what I'm about to cover right now, you guys can delete any negative account off your guys' consumer report. You guys could also exercise this for any speeding ticket, any type of ticket as a whole, any type of debt that's on any consumer report. And remember, and what I was referring to with the tickets and the speeding tickets, go to LexisNexis and check your LexisNexis report because a lot of your speeding tickets will be there, and you could dispute and discharge and remove them from your consumer report with the FCRA and everything I'm going to break down within the FCRA, because the FCRA doesn't just apply to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. The FCRA applies to all consumer reporting agencies, and there's over 330 consumer reporting agencies. So if we come here to the CFPB and we look up a list of consumer reporting agencies, CFPB. So if we just take a look here, it'll give us a whole list of over 300 different consumer reporting agencies from employment to tenant screening to gaming, checking bank account screening, you name it. There's so many different reporting agencies for different things, man. So it's vital, family, to understand. Let me put this here. It's vital, family, to understand, how to exercise the FCRA specifically. So within this blueprint of the FCRA, it's going to be very beneficial. I'm not going to go over everything with the FCRA. I've gone over a lot of different things. This one is going to be specific for this call. I'll go over and let you know what account you guys can get removed with the code in which I'm going to be covering. So specifically today, I want to take you guys, as always, to the Congressional findings, which is Title 15 USC 1681. So it talks about accuracy and fairness of credit reporting. It states the banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. So right away in the first sentence is letting us know the banking system is dependent upon. To be dependent upon something means you cannot live without. If I'm dependent upon, this life support system, without this life support system, my lifeline is being cut. If I'm dependent upon as a baby, being fed from my mother, from her boob, and I'm not getting fed it anymore, it can literally be life or death. It can decide whether it survives or whether it does not. Same with the banking system, is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. So therefore, in other words, fairness and accuracy, and we define what's fair and what's accurate. So therefore, in other words, the banking system is dependent upon our credit, right? Inaccurate credit reports directly impair the efficiency of the banking system, and unfair credit report methods undermine the public confidence, which is essential to the continued function of the banking system. I love to break down this one specifically. This is number one within the Congressional findings because, it talks about the public confidence. Why are we mentioning the public's confidence? Right, in the comment section, if you guys know why we're mentioning the public's confidence, I would love to hear from you guys. I did a call over this not too long ago, but in 1933, during the Emergency Banking Act, and all throughout the Great Depression, so many people lost faith within the banking system is because they were not able to pull out their own money from these banking system. So many people lost faith in it, started putting money under their mattresses, etc. So they need us to believe in the banking system so we can store our money within there to keep the functioning of the banking system going and flowing. So now I'm going to take you guys to the definition section, which is 1681A. I'm going to take you guys to number C, the letter C. The definition of it is a consumer. I want you guys to understand this specifically because a consumer is an individual. An individual is a natural person, me and you, right? So we got to understand that we are consumers. And I always let you guys know that we're consumers within what? The United States Corporation. The United States Inc., or which was passed in by the Act of 1871, and that later on, in 1936, created us as a legal fictitious entity within this federal corporation, and that's how they'll get jurisdiction over us, is because a lot of times we'll act in suitorship, we'll act as if we are this corporation that is the property of them when we are not this corporation. So coming here, and another definition I want to break down to you guys is the term consumer reporting agency. It means any person which for monetary fees, dues, or a cooperative nonprofit basis regularly engages in whole or in part of the practice of assembling or evaluating consumer credit information or other information on consumers for the purpose of furnishing consumer reports to third parties. So nowhere in here does it mention are they bureaus, they're consumer reporting agencies. And any person, so me, you, any corporation can start up and become a consumer reporting agency. So according to the Federal Trade Commission, on more than 1 in 5 consumer reports, there contains errors. So out of everybody on this live, one of us has an error, on our consumer report. The reason why typically is because the consumer reporting agency is allowing any and everybody to report things to your credit without assuring 100% maximum accuracy for money. If it's not about the money, they don't want to talk. Credit reporting agencies then turn around and report the information without your permission, permissible purpose, and now you as a consumer end up with an inaccurate item on your consumer report. So it's all a money grab. That's all this is. At the end of the day, they're furnishing and buying and selling your information. That's all that this is. And from them doing such, and from you never receive and giving them permissible purpose, they're in fair violation of the FCRA. Now I'm going to take you guys to compliance procedures, which it talks about accuracy of a report. So this is 15 U.S.C. 1681E, but it's number B within E. So accuracy of a report, whenever a consumer report agency prepares a consumer report, it shall follow reasonable procedures to assure maximum possible accuracy of the information concerning the individual about whom the report relates. So now I'm going to take you guys to responsibilities of furnishers of the information to consumer reporting agencies. So these are the responsibilities. I've gotten a lot of inquiries specifically removed with this, but also collections as well too, and charge-offs from this right here, 1681S number 2, which their number 3 states the duty to provide notice of dispute. So if the completeness or accuracy of any information furnished by any person to any consumer reporting agency is disputed by such person, to such person by a consumer, the person may not furnish the information to any consumer reporting agency without such notice that the information is disputed by the consumer. So we're putting them on notice. They must be put on notice. 1681I number 7, which is the method of verification, right? So we're talking about right here. So 1681S2 it talks about the responsibilities of the furnisher of the information. So these are responsibilities that they must provide. And then number 3 is the duty to provide the notice of dispute. So they're supposed to provide the notice of dispute. And then furthermore, we talk about the method of verification, which is 1681I number 7. And it talks about a description of the reinvestigation procedure. A consumer reporting agency shall provide to a consumer a description referred to in paragraph 15, a notice that if requested by a consumer, a description of the procedure used to determine the accuracy and completion of the information, it shall be provided by the consumer to the consumer by the agency, including the business name and address of any furnisher of information contacted in connection with such information. So they must send you the business name, address, any furnisher of information contacted in connection with the telephone of such furniture if reasonably available, if not, no later than 15 days after receiving a request from the consumer for that description. Then we talk about 1681I number 6, which is a notice of results of reinvestigation, which they failed to demand to comply. So this is 1681I number 6. This is the notice of results of reinvestigation, as they failed to demand to comply. 1681A number 4 as well too within the congressional findings. I love this one because this refers and breaks down the consumer's right to privacy, and it lets it be known that there's a need to ensure that the consumer reporting agencies exercise their grave responsibility. So it's a grave responsibility. If y'all understand, you know, anything, a grave, a grave, we're talking literally life or death, with fairness, impartiality, and a respect to the consumer's right to privacy. So you have the right to privacy. This is the most effective way to get bankruptcies, child supports, foreclosures, and any other public records deleted. Specifically using the congressional findings number 4 within it. Used to infringe upon my right to privacy. You define what your privacy is. And then just up a little bit where I was talking about the notice of results of reinvestigation and how they failed to demand to comply. In general, a consumer reporting agency shall provide written notice to a consumer of results of a reinvestigation under the subsection not later than 5 days after the completion of the reinvestigation by mail, or if authorized by a consumer for the purpose by other means available to the agency. B states contents as part of or in addition to the notice of under subchapter A. A consumer reporting agency shall provide to a consumer in writing before the expiration of the 5-day period referred to in subparagraph AI statement that the investigation is complete. 1 second. I'm live on the tube. I'm about done. I'll be done in like 3 minutes. That good? You sleepy? All right, I'm about done. Let's see. Couple more things that I wanted to cover within here. So we've done a call breaking and going over the restriction of sharing medical information. So y'all know that one is 15 USC 681A number 3, A, B, and C. Talks about medical information must be restricted. That's within the exclusions of a consumer report and what should be on a consumer report. And then 1681B number 4 talks about the limitation on redisclosures of medical information. So some more medical things in which you guys can use to get medical bills removed from anybody's consumer report. Those are super simple to get removed. Once you send that off to the consumer reporting agencies, as well as filing an FTC report, those will get the medical bills removed within 10 to 15 business days. Then we talk about permissible purpose. I use that one a lot within a lot of the videos. And last but not least, failure to comply to request. Now we're holding them civilly or criminally liable, and that's 1681N. That's talks about any person who willfully fails to comply with any requirement imposed under the subchapter with respect to a consumer is liable to that consumer in an amount equal to the sum of any actual damages, or any damages, or it talks about no less than or no more than $100 or $1,000. So $1,000 you guys can get per violation within the FCRA, and now holding them, criminally liable. That's also 1681Q. So those are everything that I really wanted to break down for you guys tonight. 1681 NB talks about in the case of a liability of a natural person for obtaining a consumer report under the false pretenses, knowingly without a permissible purpose, actual damages sustained by the consumer as a result of the failure, or $1,000, whichever is greater, such number of punitive damages as the court may allow. So not only peace, I love it. So if you're new, I would definitely start with I got a couple videos for new people. This video is great if you guys are just getting familiar with the FCRA, but above all else, always start with the congressional findings. I went over the congressional findings in this video. This is a great video for everybody to go through, study, understand, and then be able to send out to these reporting agencies and to these creditors as we're helping go through and prepare for these letters. If you guys need help with the letters, what I need you guys to go do is watch the consumer law and AI video that I had done about 3 weeks ago, and that video will help you guys draft up some letters and use these laws in which I'm referring to a lot more. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Let's send this video out to 5 people if you guys gain some value, and make sure as you guys do come in, the least the least that you guys can do is come in here and drop a like on this video, or if you don't like it, drop a dislike. But come in here, takes less than 2 seconds to either like it or dislike it, and share with 5 people. So I appreciate you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow on the live stream. We out. Peace and love.